Welcome everyone to a post-mortem of the dice throwing journey that just transpired over the last many days, many weeks, and in fact a couple of months. 60 days is what it took me to beat the challenge, and finally luck was on my side on day 60, and I want to break down all the interesting totals, the numbers that came up, the colour number combinations, some interesting happenings that went on over the course of the 60 days. So first I begin with the total amount of dice thrown. That was 224 over 60 days. So an average of just over 3. If you take out the big throws, it's probably just under 3, I would imagine. In terms of the numbers that came up, number 1 came up 26 times. Number 2 came up 43 times, and that was the biggest gulf between the two numbers. Then we had 3 at 39, 4 at 39, 5 at 40, and 6 at 37. So all pretty even there, but number 1 way below. The next closest number 6, 37, it was 11 below that. And then number 2 with 43 was only 3 above number 5 at 40. That's a lot of numbers I'm throwing at you there. So number 1 way below everything else. Number 2 the highest, but not by as great a margin. Then in terms of specifics, blue dice was thrown 38 times, green dice was thrown 40 times, orange dice 39 times, purple dice 26 times, so a bit lower, red dice 37, and yellow dice 44. So this, my favourite of the dice, throw in nearly 3/4 of all the attempts, should I say. So definitely my favourite of the dice, and I'd agree with that. I do like the yellow dice, mainly because it shows up very easily on the camera, and just because it reminds me of my favourite variety show from Korea, Running Man, one of my favourite TV shows of all time. They use big dice. That's why I originally got all these dice, but I digress. It is what it is now. I'm just joking, I don't need glasses. I can read proficiently enough. An interesting statistic here. As I said, the purple dice, thrown a total of 26 times. But the purple was actually the first to reach having all 6 numbers 1 through 6 just on that singular dice at day 16. So the purple dice, as I'd rolled it, every single number 1 through 6 had come up by day 16. Green dice was the second to do this at day 17. Red dice did it at day 18. Yellow dice did it at day 19. Blue dice did it at day 20. And of course, the orange dice did it at day 27. Yes, unfortunately, the orange dice witnessed that history was being made and decided, no, I will not partake in that history. No thank you. So that was unfortunate, but a very cool statistic that I was like, that's very interesting. And I was hoping that orange dice would show up at day 21, but unfortunately that was not the case. There was 6 color number combinations that were rolled and showed up in double digits, 10 or more times. The first 2, the yellow 2, 13 times that came up, and blue 3 came up 11 times. The other 4, very interesting. So on day 60, you remember I rolled a yellow 3, a blue 4. I do need to move this a little bit closer. A red 6, a green 5, an orange 2, and a purple 1. Now 4 out of those 6 numbers rose from 9 to 10 that day, and they are the blue 4, the red 6, the green 5, and the orange 2. All went up to double digits on that very last day. And so that's pretty much all the interesting just there. Been talking a lot here. Talking more than I usually talk on the camera. That is all the fascinating statistics. I'll leave in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description below, probably a list of all the different colours, their totals, and what numbers were the most common and least common. Just looking through this to see if I have any that only happened one time. Yeah, no. It seems like the lowest was the blue one, which happened twice. And then there was a whole bunch which happened 3 times. So pretty even weighting of in terms of the dice all being able to roll all different numbers. So there wasn't any weird things going on. It was just, I guess, luck of certain things coming up more often than not. There might have been a slight weight distribution looking at some of the numbers coming up, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Got lost on a tangent there, but as I was saying, all the dice seem to be in working order. They all seem to, at least every single one of the dice have had every single one of these different numbers come up. So nothing crazy going on there. But for now, I thought you might all be nostalgic for the dice throwing. And so I'm going to put this laptop down on the floor. And for one last time, or maybe not one last time for now, I'm going to throw these 6 dice. I'm going to throw all 6 of them, no matter what the numbers are, just for fun, just for some early nostalgia, even though it's only been a single day. Maybe it's been longer since you've watched this. Maybe you watched the final episode and you took a few months off and you've come back and you've finally watched the breakdown. Or maybe you've binge watched everything. As I said, I'm going to upload a big compiled version of all 60 throws in one video. So maybe you've watched that and you've come over to here. Well, we will see again. Starting with my favourite dice, the yellow dice. Let's see what number we get. 6? Isn't it 2? Blue dice. Let's see what this throws up. 3. Purple dice. Gonna have to zoom in on this, and it is a 5. It would be crazy if 2 times in a row I could get 6 unique numbers. Let's see what happens with the red dice. It's a 3, which is the same as the blue dice. But as I said, I'm going to throw all 6. Just for a little bit of comfort. Green dice. And of course one of them had to roll off the bed. Ugh. Second attempt with the green dice. It's a 6, which is the same as the yellow dice. Which means if this orange dice is a 5, they'll all be paired up. So let's see what the orange dice throws up. Hey! It's a 5. So I got 2 5s, 2 3s, 2 6s. That is it for now. I am thinking, I'm making no promises, but I am thinking of doing a live stream of me attempting 1 through 6. As many attempts as I can get in say, an hour or a 2-hour period. However long the battery and everything can last. I'm not sure I have the exact capabilities to do it. So I'll have to test that out. I'll probably be testing a live stream at some point. Probably in a week or so. A few days at least. Have a little break. Try that out, see if it works. If it does, I'll be back to attempt dice throwing 1 through 6 as a live stream at some point. I'll probably let you know ahead of time as a video. As I've said, I want to try and upload 1 single video every single day. So that would probably be that day's video, like the day before or whatever, saying, hey, at this time I'm going to attempt to do a live stream of all throwing these dice. But the test will just go up whenever I feel like it. I don't have a plan of when I'm going to try that out, but I will try it out at some point. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed this energy, this video, me doing challenges, please feel free to do so. I will be back with more challenges, more entertainment for everyone. Hope you're all enjoying it. Hope you continue to follow me, even though the dice throwing has stopped, even though I may be back with a live stream for a little bit. But you know, I'm moving on to other things as well. Yeah, and obviously tomorrow, I think, is the way I'm going to post them around. This will be the breakdown, and then tomorrow, even though I've already finished editing it, the big compiled 60 Days of Dice Throws challenge should be going live. So you can go tune into that as well if you want some more nostalgia, some more dice throwing that I completed throughout the days, weeks, and in fact months. And of course, got to end here with the big old sign off. Hope you have a phenomenal day. I love you. And until next time, goodbye.